Hello, good afternoon. I say good afternoon because I don't know when you're listening to this, but it's afternoon here, and the door's open, and somebody's cutting the grass. So give me 1 second. I'm still here. I'm here. Yes. So, for whatever time you're listening to this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sunday as well, because I didn't do it yesterday. Just because, you know, when the day gets away from you, I don't realise what time. I didn't have a clue what time it was. Like, oh shit, it's 5 o'clock. Oh shit, it's 8 o'clock. It's like, oh bloody hell. I was planning to do this yesterday. But, yeah, that's what happens. I've been productive this morning, though. Kind of. As productive as I can be. Oh, I'll go for a walk in a bit. Anyway, hope everybody's well. Everybody's getting through, as we do. Keep on talking. That's what we tried to do. I had a few birthdays this week as well. There's a few. There was 3 birthdays this week. So happy birthday, Paddy, who was however old he was, and happy birthday, Stu, who is younger than me. Yeah, Paddy's older than me. Stu's younger than me. Let's just keep it at that. And happy birthday, Nikki. Nikki was a year older as well. So there's another one. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Hope you had lovely days, as well as you can do in lockdown. I did wish you all individual happy birthdays, but it's quite nice to be remembered, thought of. Yes, obviously everybody that knows me are aware that I had a pretty shitty week. Yes, if you follow my Facebook and you follow my Instagram, or you know me and you regularly talk to me, then you'll know that we lost our nan this week. So yeah, we call her Bibi. Bibi is like a universal name for an older, not an elderly lady, but an older lady, or just a respectful term to call a stranger that's like of an age. But it's an endearing term as well, Bibi. Yeah, it's like but if you notice, I put on the hashtag everyone's Bibi because that's what everybody called her. Because like I say, Bibi. I mean, you have to think. So I was working this out yesterday, and I was like, there's 5 kids. So she's leaving behind 5 kids. So that's mom and my mum's 4 brothers. So and all the kids have got all the kids have got kids. So that's the grandchildren. So it's me and my sisters. That's, let's work it out. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 grandchildren, and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think about 12 or 13 great grandchildren as well. So and she knew them all. She'd spoken. She had like, we had met them all in relationships to them all. But it's just it's a shame really that they won't get older. I think that's what happens. But yeah. So yeah, the term Bibi. So every single person. So from great grandchildren to children to friends of ours, everybody called her Bibi, regardless. That's what I called. That's why I said everyone's Bibi, because that's what she was. She was everybody's Bibi, and it's funny how those names stick, and that's who she was since I've known. So the crazy fact that my uncle told me, the crazy fact that that I was told. So I can say that she's known me for all of my life, obviously, but the fact that my grandfather came. So this is my mum's side of the family. My grandfather came in the 60s. I think it was the 60s or late 50s, but I think it was the 60s. And then mum came in 69, and then she got married when she was over here. And then my nan and 3 of my uncles, one uncle stayed in India, who's still in India now. 3 of my uncles because they were younger, came with my nan. And they came in 1976, and that's all I ever knew was they came in 1976, which was the year I was born. But I never knew when they came. So my uncle was telling me the other day that they came on the 18th of March 1976, which was the day that my nan passed away. So 45 years to the day that she came to the UK, she passed away. Which was, it's like one of those weird facts that happens, or you know, that somebody comes out with. There's always been one that somebody. It's unfortunate when somebody passes away, but it's like one of those things. Like it was this happened, and that, you know, it's like crazy. But yeah, so 45 years to the day. So I, as somebody said, that she must have been strong to have coped with you for 45 years. Yeah, definitely. There's some stories that have that always knock about. I mean, she was quite. As they get older, she was quite funny in her ways anyway, because she was diabetic, and she always had to try and keep her control of her food, and she never did really. Yeah, I'll just do what I want. She tried, but then, you know, your instincts, your desires get the better of you sometimes, and she like I've told a few people that when she came here, she used to come here and stay. When Mum went to India, Mum would go to India every year. Obviously, she didn't go last year, but and then so my nan would come over and stay for a week or 2 weeks, which is quite nice to have her around, just pottering about. She'd just fall asleep and wake up, watch TV, go and sit in the sun. You know, just regular around the house. But it was just nice having somebody in the house, and not that anybody's not in the house, but it's nice having her in the house. It was so, but yeah. So we, like, you know, Friday's chips day, and she said, "Oh, can I have some chili sauce?" Like, okay, so she's put half a bottle of chili sauce, and then next day, maybe 2 days, she's complaining that her stomach's hurting, and it's like that kind of stuff. It makes you laugh. It made me laugh then, so it just makes me smile now. So those are the things you have to remember. The funny times are good times. So I mean, they reminded me of a story of. I mean, so people come out with these stories of what, you did this when you were young. I don't remember because I was young. And I barely remember, like a couple of weeks ago sometimes. So remembering things when I was like 4 or 5 years old is a stretch. But it was back in the day, as everybody knows, we used to live big families living in small houses. So you're talking at least 6 or 7 people living in a 3-bedroom terraced house in Warsaw, and plus then like us coming over to stay. It was a wedding, so it was one of my uncle's weddings, and so us coming. So it was me, Mum. My dad never used to. He used to come back and forth, but me, Mum, and my sister. So there's like the 4 of us staying there as well, and probably other people as well staying. You'd like chuck the duvets on the floor and, you know, sleep wherever. But it was like that, and they said that obviously there's a lot of gold and stuff on weddings and rings and all sorts, and they said that I hid one of the rings, or hid some gold. I can't remember if it was a ring or gold, and they basically would turn the house upside down to find it. And you know what? I'm just saying, they're saying it was me. There's no actual evidence it was me. They're just saying it was me because I was a little bit of a mischievous child, and I used to fuck about so much at that house, their house. It was like when I was a kid, because I was born. Thing is, I mean, my sister's was a girl thing, and then I was the younger one, so and there was nobody ever to play with. I was the youngest boy for a long time in the family, and so there's never anybody to play with. So I'm always finding things to amuse myself. Probably what led me to the fire. But yeah, so they turned the house. Everybody was looking for this. Let's say jewelry. Everybody's looking for this everywhere, and you know, and they were asking me. I don't know. I don't know whether it was like I genuinely didn't know, or it was like name, rank, and serial number. I ain't got a clue. I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me, as Shaggy said famously. It's actually Eddie Murphy said famously in I think it was in Delirious. Me. But yeah. So they all day they turned the house upside down looking for this. Oh no, we've lost it. It's disappeared. It's like, oh no, what's happened? And there was like, you know, because it was an expensive bit of. And it was like, you got back in the 80s, so it was like, it was more expensive. And then it was like night time, everybody going to bed. And then my nan was going to bed, and she put her head down on the pillow. And like someone was sticking into her. It looked into the pillow, and it was inside the pillowcase in the pillow. They said that was me. I'm saying there's no evidence. Show me the evidence it was me. But everybody's that's attributed to me, and it was my nan found it, and she talked about it like obviously later, much later on, years later, more recently. I mean, I hadn't seen her for a year. That photo that I put up, that was from January last year. That was the last time. So I spoke to her on the phone a few times when she phoned and when we phoned there, but it's not the same as it seeing somebody in person. But that was the last time I saw her and physically saw her. But yeah, I think I saw her on the phone once. My uncle phoned and he video called, and we saw her on there as well. But yeah, that was a story that was attributed to me that she regularly, well, she told a few times, saying, "Oh," and he was like this. I used to say that I used to get the dishes out of the kitchen and throw them over the wall into the neighbour's garden and all sorts of stuff. I learnt cheese on toast there, I think. In their grill, they had one of those grills at the top of the cooker, and that's a memory for me, a memory that of having cheese on toast. I used to love cheese on toast in that grill. And I'm like, wow, yeah, that's it. That's the shit that is. But yeah, so I choose to remember. That's how you should remember the good times, not remember. I mean, one of the reasons I didn't. My mum went to the hospital before she passed, the day before actually, and I was going to go with her. But in fairness, I did have a meeting to attend, but I was going to go with her, but there was part of me that didn't want to, because I knew she was not well, and she was like on oxygen and stuff like that. And I think, when you don't want it to be your last memory, I'd rather my last memory being the last time I saw her, when I spoke to her and she smiled, and I'd rather that memory, because there's been a few times where last memories have been, that's what sticks in you. I mean, Mum was saying before, I was speaking to her, she was saying, it's like, she was saying to somebody on the phone, actually, I heard her, and she's like, that's the last time you saw her. The last time you see somebody, that's the last thing you remember. And I would rather not remember that, if you get what I mean. Not that I didn't want to see her, but I knew that she was not well. She couldn't communicate with me or anything like that. So you kind of, yeah. I mean, I was watching Kevin Smith's podcast last week. Kevin Smith's actor, director, filmmaker, let's say filmmaker. Did so Jay and Silent Bob, and he's Silent Bob in it. He was talking about it the other day. I was telling somebody about it. He was not talking about that. He was talking about on their podcast they do a question and answer with the audience, and then One Division, because it was a special. They did a whole series of podcasts about One Division and talking about it and how it's made. And one of the questions, because one of the things she does in there, it's not a spoiler, she brings back somebody that, she brings back her one love, basically, which was Vision, if you watch the Marvel films. And one of the questions that an audience member, one of the listeners asked was, if you could bring back somebody to watch TV with, what would it be? Who would it be, and what show would it be? I mean, the show was not important, that's whatever. But one of the things that he said, which then reminded me as well, was that he said he'd bring back his dad, because his last memory of his dad was when he was like, sort of, I think he was seriously in hospital, or he passed away, and that's the last. And that triggered me, because that was my last memory of my dad. Was the last time I saw him was because I got the phone call when I was at home, when I was in the shop actually, saying that you got to come to the hospital, and you kind of know why they're saying you got to come to the hospital, but you kind of hope not. And then he passed away.
Okay.
Sorry, that was Mother. I've got to send a message. I've got to remember that. Remind me. That was my last memory. So I didn't, and then that kind of sticks with you. Not in a bad way, but it sticks with you, doesn't it? It's just like, in terms of what I'd watch with him, it's like I remember watching old war films with him. That's what got me into things like The Great Escape and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like westerns. I used to love war films and westerns. So that kind of thing would be what I'd watch. It's an interesting question. Saturday afternoon, watching that with Dad. The Cold It story, I remember watching that with him. Yeah, obviously The Great Escape. The Great Escape, I watched too many times. Yeah, all sorts. I remember him. There was a Red Dwarf episode, Legion. Yeah, and he there's a scene in there. I don't know if anybody watches Red Dwarf. As if you watch it, Red Dwarf. But if you watch Red Dwarf, that you'll know what I'm talking about. There's in the episode Legion, where he becomes all of them, and then they realise they have to make him unconscious, each person unconscious to remove them from him. He's a gestalt entity. I watch Red Dwarf too much, but there's a bit when Crichton's trying to knock out Rimmer, and he's hitting him with the ball, and I remember pissing myself laughing, and he just looking at me, going, "What's wrong with you? Why are you laughing?" I do remember that. That was weird. That was funny. It was only us two sitting in the room, and I was proper laughing. I couldn't, when you got to get the belly laughs, and then yeah. But then I also remember when I know everybody's been through this. When with any siblings, but with my sisters, and when you're laughing, and then they're telling you off to stop laughing, and then it's making you laugh even more, and you can't keep it in. That I remember there's quite a few times like that. Yeah, not that like and then they just they kind of give up and just like, oh, it's weird. Yeah. But yes, there's lots of I've got to sort out some photos as well. Somebody asked me, my cousin was asking me for some photos, and we got loads of them. I've got to send some of them. Not loads of them. We got loads of photos. I've just got to fish out through them, find them. But I'm sure I'll be able to. But yeah, that's been the week, isn't it? Really. So I cope with these things much better now. I kind of understand. To prepare and mentally prepare for things like this now. Even not that it's not upsetting, not that it's not a shock, not that it's not knocked everybody, but it's nicer the other way in terms of obviously out of lockdown, because you would go to, so we would be at my uncle's house and everybody would be kind of sitting around, and then people would come and mourn, but then talk, which is always good. Obviously, can't do that now because of the restrictions. So it's on the phone, and the phone's been like, our house phone's been bedlam. It's just like all day, and not a bad thing. People are good, aren't they? But it's just like constant, and it's like you put the phone down, you pick the phone up, and Mom more than me. I mean, I've had to answer it a few times, and then I've had a few calls on my mobile, which I don't mind, because people are calling me on my mobile generally. Not always regularly talk to me. Regularly talk to me in terms of either by message or whatever. So I'm generally in contact with. When people I haven't spoke to in a while, you kind of you're umming and ahhing a little bit, aren't you? You don't know what to say. Sorry about that again. I'll have to edit this one in on the other one. I don't know how long I did on the other one, so sorry for just rambling. I always get confused with this camera, because I've said this before, but the camera's over that side for me looking, but I'm looking over that way, which is weird. So I should look over there, and it's weird. Look at it. I'm gonna look at the dot. If I look at the dot, it looks like I'm looking at you. That's weird. That is weird, isn't it? I don't know why am I looking over there? I don't understand. The camera is literally over there, and I'm looking over there. Oh no! I'll look at the camera. Oh, it's because I can see myself better. It's weird. I can see myself. That's why I'm looking at me. But anyway, yes. So so I've just been I haven't taken any time off work, so I'm just like keep busy. But then I will have to take some time off, I think, there'll be a point where I'll need to get my head straight and get back in the game. But it's just I'm just trying to keep busy and distracting. Some of it's been distracting myself and watching stuff, which I normally do anyway. But that's how I distract myself. So like the Falcon and Winter Soldier started on Friday, which was I quite enjoyed that, and I watched the Justice League recut, the the Justice League Zack Snyder cut. So that was I remember Justice League came out a few years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know. But Zack Snyder, who originally made it, wrote part of the writing team and was directing it. He had to leave, and then Joss Whedon came and took over from it, and then obviously different directors have different visions, and he kind of took it in the direction that he thought, and then it was not very it was critically not well received, and then there was a big clamour for the Snyder cut to be released, because he'd done a lot of the film, It just hadn't been edited, and like the VFX and stuff weren't put in. And he there was a big push for it, and then the studio eventually said, okay, to Zack Snyder, do it. So they let him do it and do it how he wanted to do it, in his version anyway. And that was released on Thursday. And it's 4 hours long. I watched all 4 hours, because if you're gonna watch it, you can watch it all or don't. And you can chunk it up into hours, because he's done it in epilogues as well. So there's like 6 episodes on it. I mean, he's not epilogues. He's done it in episodes. There's 5 episodes, and I think there's either 5 episodes in an epilogue or 6 episodes in an epilogue, which is it's quite good. And it's quite interesting where he wanted to take, because at the moment it's kind of stagnant what they're doing with the DC universe. So obviously that was leading into and what he created there. So it's interesting, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It flowed better than the first film. And then when I watched certain scenes, you can watch scenes of the Joss Whedon Justice League on YouTube, and then comparing it to what he's done, it's just like, especially the final battle, the big battle scene at the end, it's completely different. It's like the essence of it's the same. The story is the same going through the whole film, but it's like the battle is complete. How they did it was completely different, and it was a bit crazy. That I don't understand why he changed it so much. That final battle. I mean, the special effects. I mean, it's amazing what they can do post production on films now. Just to change. If you look at it, it just changes the look of the film. Completely changed the whole look of the film, not just part of it. It's crazy. But I did enjoy it. It was good. It was good. It was 4 hours as well. And it's like, I mean, I'm one of those people that, sometimes when you're watching a film, it's like, I don't mind this being that longer, because it's I'm enjoying it so much. So I know a lot of people that, but then you're watching it in the comfort of your own home. So I think Sky have got it on now. It was on HBO Max in America, but that released it. But I think Sky have got it on one of their channels. But yeah, so that was on Friday. I watched that. But I haven't really done much else. Just kind of on the phone most of it. It seems like, and talking to people and chatting to people. But yeah, it's been one of those, isn't it? So what you can do? Just remembering stuff. So that happens with things like this. It makes you remember this and remember that. And yeah, she'd been a mum to us all in most respects. She's had a hand in raising all the kids in our family and the adults as well. And I think she was like the last of that generation. I think she is the last of that generation that was in our family. So it's kind of an ending of a generation there, and it's the next generation now. It's a shame. But I'm grateful of those who have checked in and have been concerned, and have said, just checking in how I'm doing. I am genuinely okay. I'm just like, obviously in a time like this you're going to be upset, so but it's how you handle it. And probably 12 months ago I probably wouldn't have handled it as me now, but I've learned some stuff over the last 12 months which have stood me in good stead, and I'm open to talking about stuff. So yeah, those who regularly talk to me know I talk too much, which isn't a bad thing sometimes. And like people, so somebody said to me this week that I taught them a lot, which was amazing that I taught anybody anything. But you know what? If you've taken anything from me, that's all good. It's all good. I'm here to teach and learn, especially learn. Everybody can teach me a thing or two, or 7. But yeah, I'm happy to impart my worldly wisdom of, let's call it the wisdom of Dal. Sometimes it's bullshit, but if it gets you through, it gets you through. Oh yes, so worked out pretty hard yesterday. I've been trying to do some more sort of knee-hab. I'm calling it knee-hab now. I'm going to hashtag knee-hab. Yeah, just rehabbing my knees and trying to work and strengthening them and getting flexibility back. Like that guy, he was a knees over toes guy. It's amazing if you see some of the stuff on Instagram. The fact that he's been through knee surgeries and he's got that full flexibility, like proper, what's he called? He calls them bulletproof knees, and they look it as well. The amount of impact that he can absorb within those knees, considering the surgeries that he's had, it's amazing. So, and it's a slow build up. It's not, you can do it. You can do it if you really believe in it. No, it's like it's building the strength. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just working to the pain. So don't stop before it starts hurting, and then slowly build. So we're doing a slow build, and I can feel it in my knee, not in a painful way, but I can feel my knees. I can feel, the work. So that's good. So hopefully that's the right way. But just my calves and my quads are a bit. They'll probably dumb up a little bit tomorrow, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. They can take it. It's strong enough. And I've done a bit of running as well. Still don't like running. I still don't understand the benefits of it. But I've done a bit of running, then walking, and then sprinting. So I'll jog, and then I'll walk a little bit, and then I'll do some uphill sprints, and then do a bit more jogging afterwards, and then walk. I thought phone's ringing. I can't answer it because I can't hear it. But yeah, so but yeah, that's been my week. And the next week will be the same. I think the funeral's not going to be for a couple of weeks, just because it's that kind of not time of year. It's that time, isn't it? So it's like arranging this specific times. So I don't think it's going to be. I think it's the week after next they're talking about. But so I don't know how we're going to do that either, because of the restrictions and who can go and who can't go. So it's just a wait and see. But I wanted to do this because I feel it's quite. Somebody did mention it to me. It's quite therapeutic for me. It is quite therapeutic for me. It's like me having a little chat with me, and then obviously when people hear it and then they send me messages afterwards, it's quite nice that people are listening. And then so I'll continue to do this because I do enjoy it. I think Ant's he might have put some stuff up because it was quite long that we did. We did one last Sunday, me and him, and we ended up talking for about an hour and a half. But he's going to chunk it up. So he said he's just it's getting the time to edit these videos sometimes, isn't it? Plus he has to make sure he reviews. I don't review these. I'll look through them sometimes, but I won't change anything. This is what you get. This is unscripted, and it's just pure unadulterated me. But he just makes sure that we don't. It's generally me, not him, saying anything untoward that we can get in trouble for. So, but what he's going to do is just, I think he's subject them and then chunk them. So, I mean, there's a bit that I talk about the royal family thing that was happening the other week. So he'll chunk that and probably title it in respect to other subjects we're talking about, and TV or whatever. But yeah. So that should be going up on the channel at some point, if you're interested. If not, you can just talk to me. But well, I did arrange to go for a walk today. Oh shit, my battery's running out. It doesn't count if it's not on the watch, so I'm gonna have to charge that up a bit. Yeah, we'll have to. No, it should be alright. 14% should be alright, shouldn't it? It's for a walk, because I'm not going to do anything else with it. It's going to be sleeping. Just talking to you about this. But yes, anyway. So I'm going to leave, and then I will catch you on the flip side. I've said that a few times recently. No, I'll catch you soon, and I hope everybody's well. Feel free to message me. Feel free to call me. Feel free to email me. Feel free to whatever. However, send a bloody carrier pigeon. That's fine. I don't know what I'll do with the carrier pigeon, but send it, and I will get the message. But yeah, keep in touch, and I will speak to you soon. See you later.